Good morning, YouTube homesteaders. Tom Fitzgerald with Good Hope Homestead. Well, today is officially week 4 for our Cornish Cross. So we're going to come out here. I've got to move the chicken tractor. And here you go. We got Henry's there in the background saying hi to everybody. But we got to get this chicken tractor moved, and I'm going to go ahead and do a quick update on them and show you how they're doing. All right, guys. Well, here we go. This is officially week 4 for the Cornish Cross. As you can see, they've grown quite a bit in the last week since our last update, when we moved them out here outside. I've got them currently on a 12 on, 12 off feeding schedule, which means they eat for 12 hours, they get their feed, and then after 12 hours, I'll pull their feed. Usually I'm out here about 7 o'clock in the morning or so, and I'll go ahead and I'll put their feed out. And then at 7 o'clock at night, I'll come out here and I'll take their food away. If some of y'all don't know, these guys, it's kind of a necessity. You have to do that. These guys were bred for meat birds, and they were bred to grow fast. So these guys eat nonstop. They don't have that sense of ever being full. If you leave feed out here 24 hours, they will eat 24 hours a day. So in order to keep them from eating as much, we pull it off like that. Also, they have a tendency, and you've probably heard stories about what the Cornish Cross is. As they get older, they gain so much weight, they get so big that they can't walk, and their legs will give out, or they'll drop dead from a heart attack, where their body organs just can't catch up and keep up with the growth of their body, which to some point is actually true if you don't monitor their feed, which is why we do the 12 on, 12 off, because it helps slow down and maintain their growth instead of just letting them get too big too fast. All right, as far as their food consumption goes, I filled that bucket up last Wednesday, when we did our week 3 Cornish Cross video, and we actually moved them outside. And that feeder holds about 25 pounds of food. It held about half of a 50-pound bag. So I filled it up last Wednesday, and today's Wednesday, so it's been exactly a week. And that bucket, I should have shot the video when I had the lid off of it when I checked it, but that bucket's about empty. There's only about 2 or 3 inches of feed left in that bucket, which is about what the feed level is in the tray right there. So, for today, they're fine. That's plenty for them for today. Tomorrow, I will have to go and refill that up with another 25 pounds. So, they're going through roughly about, right now, 20 pounds of food a week for 10 birds. So, yeah, they're definitely eating quite a bit of food now. As far as the water goes, they go through about 4 gallons of water a day. I go ahead and fill it every day. I dump it out, clean it, just give them fresh water every day. Probably don't have to, but because they're not going through that whole 5 gallon yet. As they get a little older and a little bit bigger, they definitely will be. And I'm hoping I can make it through a day with that 5 gallons of water. But we'll see as we go. Alright, guys, well, that's all I've got right now on the Cornish Cross. If I missed anything, if you have any questions, please just put it in the comments below, and I'll answer whatever questions you have if I missed something or forgot to mention something. As far as the Cornish Cross goes, that's pretty much all I've got. We do have some projects coming up, which I'm going to try to get done. Today's Wednesday. Friday, I'm going to try to shoot a video on our garden. I really need to go ahead. I feel like I'm falling behind on it. I need to get the ground set for our garden for this year. Like I said, we just moved into this homestead back in November, and there was no garden previously here on the property, so we're going to be creating a new garden bed, and which is, I'm figuring it's going to be roughly about 50 by 60, 50 feet by 60 feet, and this is all going to be fresh, brand new ground. Yeah, originally we planned on trying out the deep mulch method with the wood chips, but I couldn't get the wood chips in here on time to let them compost and break down. So we're going to end up tilling the ground up, and just basically starting from scratch. All right, guys, this is the area right here where we're going to be setting our garden in. I'm looking at doing an area roughly, I'm going to do, well, we're planning on 50-foot rows, which will be running from here to there, and 50-foot rows running this way. And I'm going to try to get it up to go roughly about 60 feet or so, right about through here, which I'm thinking should give me, you know, 10 to 12 rows at 50 foot long. I plan on getting the tiller here on Friday. I'm going to bring in the tiller and get all this tilled and get all the soil here amended, and so we can go ahead and get our garden started. I've got a bunch of stuff in the greenhouse that's ready to get transplanted. A lot of our peppers, our tomato plants, all that stuff's getting ready to be transplanted. I didn't do a whole lot of other starts as far as anything else goes. It's mainly our peppers and the tomatoes I do by start. Pretty much everything else we'll do by, you know, we'll plant by seed, just start in the garden. A lot of things like your cucumbers and your squashes and stuff, this stuff grows relatively fast, and it's still really early in the season here. And our temperatures have been pretty good. I know for the next 3 or 4 days, we're going to be in the 70s here. And our lows are only getting down to about the 40s at night. So I think I'll be okay with just doing with just those starts, and everything else should do fine. We do have some of the lettuces and stuff started, and they're doing wonderful. And I'd like to see if we can get those to come up quick and be able to harvest those before it gets too hot. But we'll see how that goes. That was kind of an experiment that we were trying, and we'll see what happens. All right, guys, well, that's all I've got for today. If you have any questions on anything, please leave it in the comments below, and I will answer it as soon as I can. I appreciate y'all taking the time and watching this video. If you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. And as always, guys, God bless.